Welcome to Overalls and Alibis News Update, local news update. We are going to go over some of the things that are happening locally in North Carolina and also some interesting news elsewhere I wanted to share. But okay, let's get started this morning. If you remember, there was a fatal crash that started a huge fire. And mhm, let me find the screen share. Okay. Okay. Fatal crash reported on the night of fire that destroyed historic Caudill's Electric Company building in Kernersville. In Kernersville, a woman died in a crash in a stolen vehicle in Kernersville on Saturday night, hours before a historic building burned down, according to North Carolina Highway Patrol. The building was recognized as a historical Kernersville structure built in 1897 as the Herman and Reed Mill before becoming Caudle's Electric Company in recent years. Let's see. Get back. They had over 60 firefighters from multiple agencies. Let's see. Isabel Rose Lawson, 25, was driving a stolen Chevrolet Corvette when she lost control and hit several power poles, downing power lines in the area. Highway Patrol confirmed that the crash sparked the fire down the road. She was the only one in the car, and she was thrown from the car during the crash and died at the scene. Wow. Okay, and we have an update on this. So let's switch over. We're going to get an update on what they found during the investigation of this crash. Um, okay.
Is responsible for causing a deadly crash that led to a fire at Caudle Electric in Kernersville.
We're going to show you a picture of Isabel Lawson the last time she was arrested in Surry County. 2 News' Ben Briscoe verifies her past.
Before we get to her criminal history, you should know it is true that Highway Patrol says 25-year-old Isabel Lawson started the fire after crashing a Corvette into power poles on Saturday night. Now, lots of people online say that police chased her before that crash. A sergeant with the Lexington Police Department tells me that is false. It's not true. They say they got a report the car was stolen, so they tried to pull her over. She sped off and crashed about a block away from where the traffic stop was. She died in that crash. We also know that it is true her court records show she has a history of running from police. In Surry County in 2021, police say they made a traffic stop and she took off running to avoid arrest. Police say they also found 50 grams of meth that she, quote, manufactured, transported, and planned to sell, and that she was carrying a gun with a serial number that had been removed by some type of grinder tool. For those charges, she pled guilty in exchange for 45 days in custody and then 18 months probation.
Wow, that is sad. Okay, and so we're going to get a little bit closer to home. So we're going to look at some Stoneville news here. A Stoneville woman was arrested on drug charges after a traffic stop. I was shocked because this Stoneville is such a small town. I don't know if y'all remember hearing about our Stoneville tornado years ago. It's a very small town. And you don't think about I don't think about drug crimes in a small town, but apparently it's just everywhere. So Stoneville, on Wednesday, May 21st, officers of the Stoneville Police Department conducted a traffic stop on a red and black scooter on South Henry Street, failing to stop at a stop sign. Wait a minute. Wait. She was on a scooter. Okay. Seriously, though, were they profiling? 'Cause usually, if an adult is driving a scooter, it's because they've had legal troubles, been in trouble with the law, either drunk driving or drugs or whatever. So, do they target scooter riders Do they profile scooter riders? I don't know, but they say she failed to stop at a stop sign. Okay. Heather Celeste Ray, 39-year-old, white female. Says during the encounter, she appeared extremely nervous. Officers initiated an investigation and, with the assistance of the Madison Police Department K-9 unit, conducted an open-air sniff. A probable cause search was carried out, resulting in the discovery of approximately 11.3 grams of methamphetamine. She was taken into custody and charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and failing to stop at a stop sign. The only thing about this that bothers me is that they say during the encounter she appeared extremely nervous. So, is being nervous enough of a probable cause to call in the Madison Police Department K-9 unit to do a sniff test? I'm sorry, I know, but that bothers me. I do think they kind of overreach sometimes. Failing to stop at a stop sign should get you a traffic violation. Being nervous, I don't see how that's probable cause for that. I think sometimes they make, I'm gonna just hush. I'm gonna just hush. But that bothers me because I don't think it's right. I mean, we have rights that are supposed to protect us from some things like this. Like I remember years ago, I was driving. My son had gone on the Washington D.C. trip for school, and they were late coming back. And so this is like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I got tired of sitting at the school parking lot, so I was just kind of circling blocks just to try to stay awake. And I was pulled over by a police officer. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing anything wrong. And so his only probable cause was because I was on that particular road, which has a history of drug activity. So I had to show my ID, my driver's license, get stopped and I was certainly nervous getting pulled over in the middle of, that time of night for no reason. Would me being nervous be enough of a probable cause to bring in a canine? Of course, I didn't have anything in my car and I don't do anything like that. But that always sat bad with me because I didn't say anything at the time, but I knew dang well just because you're driving on a road that has had drug activity, driving down that a perfectly public highway is not probable cause. So I don't think they had any legal right to pull me over to begin with. That really bothered me and always has set wrong with me. And I don't think being nervous, unless maybe there's something that they didn't put in here, but still, gut feeling, whatever, scooter profiling, still, does that warrant probable cause for searching? I don't think so. But okay, I will get off my soapbox and we will move on. Okay, so we've um the next thing I wanted to bring up this morning was, let's see if I can get this switched over. Are you seeing that okay? All right, so for the Wentworth area, there is a boil water advisory issued for parts of Wentworth after E. coli was discovered. Rockingham County officials say they are warning people to boil water before using it for drinking, cooking, bathing, or brushing your teeth. Okay, is she talking about that?
System. People that live along Highway
Okay.
158 near Highway 65 and Whitty Road in Wentworth must boil water until further notice. E. coli is a bacteria that can make people sick. It's not clear how long this could last.
Wow. I wonder what causes that. I'm going to be going. I wonder, the animal shelter is in Wentworth. You know, them watering those dogs. That would be a whole lot of water to boil to water all the dogs and cats at the shelter. I wonder what they're doing about that. I'm going to be going there today to pick up a foster, so yeah, I might ask them about that. All right, and our last little story today is going to be a little fun one. Let's see.
Feet tall in Wauwatosa's newest park.
So this is Mama Rosa behind us, the giant troll making her debut today at the grand opening of Firefly Grove Park. 12 News' Zoe Henry has a story behind this giant sculpture.
A magical creature is helping transform an old landfill into a new park.
It's so whimsical. It's so magical. It's a great addition to the neighborhood.
Mama Rosa, the massive troll statue, lives in the brand new Firefly Grove Park
It
in
is
Wauwatosa.
cute.
She's a fairy tale Thomas Dambo brought all the way from Denmark.
My trolls, they are actually really afraid of humans because humans in the natural world are the invasive species and the apex predator.
Mama Rosa is one of
What an
40 troll
interesting
statues in
concept.
the U.S. and the first in Wisconsin. Dambo says his source for materials is quite unconventional. He went to the city's public works dump. There he found nearly 2 tons of wood and other forgotten items.
I had the idea to then make a sculpture that would pick a bouquet of flowers or light poles in its one hand and then smell the other one in its one hand.
And the statue goes beyond the 25-foot structure. There are also several broken poles all around the park for people to find, kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Kind of like where my troll, which is called Mama Rosa, where she picked her bouquet from.
Dambo says having his work on display in Wisconsin is only something he imagined.
The special about the one here in Wisconsin is that it's a long-time dream of mine to be able to do one that were in some way picking a bouquet of infrastructure.
Dambo adds he has a bigger dream of adding a sculpture in every state. In Wauwatosa, Zoe Henry, WISN 12 News.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That is pretty cool. So let me get rid of my little thing there. Okay, that is our news update for the day. And I will talk to you guys later. Let's see.